Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Good morning. Today, we are looking at a major development in the world of technology that could change the future of artificial intelligence.
That is right, Alex. Industry leaders NVIDIA and Microsoft have announced they're leading a massive funding round for OpenAI. The goal is to raise up to $100 billion.
$100 billion is an incredible amount of money. Jamie, can you explain exactly where this capital will be used?
Most of it is for physical infrastructure. To build better AI, you need massive data centers and very powerful chips. Right now, the hardware is the biggest bottleneck. This money will help OpenAI build the centers they need to train more complex systems.
So it is no longer just about writing code. It is about the physical power behind the software. Why are Microsoft and NVIDIA so involved?
It is a strategic move. By leading this round, Microsoft keeps its close partnership with OpenAI. Meanwhile, NVIDIA ensures it has a long-term buyer for its advanced chips. They are not just partners anymore. They are becoming the architects of the entire AI economy.
It sounds like a very expensive race. Are there any risks involved with such a large investment?
Certainly. The costs for energy, cooling systems, and specialized parts are rising quickly. The industry is watching to see if these massive investments will lead to real software breakthroughs. In a crowded market, the pressure to show a return on this spending is very high.
It is a fascinating look at how the digital economy is being built. Thank you for those insights, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex.
Good morning. Today we are looking at the future of mobile technology. Samsung Electronics has just shared its roadmap for 2026, and it looks like a major turning point for the company.
That is correct, Alex. The main focus for 2026 is something called agentic AI. While we are used to AI that simply answers questions, Samsung wants its next phones to act like personal assistants that can complete tasks for you.
For example, instead of just searching for a flight, the phone could plan your entire trip and manage your health data automatically. And notably, it will do all of this on the device itself rather than sending data to the cloud.
Exactly. This is a smart move. By keeping data on the phone, Samsung can offer better privacy and faster performance. To support this, the upcoming Galaxy S26 will use a new, powerful processor designed specifically for these AI tasks.
Beyond the software, there are big changes coming to the physical design as well. It seems Samsung is listening to customer feedback regarding comfort.
Yes, Samsung is moving away from the edge display. Instead, the 2026 lineup will be slimmer and lighter. They're also working on a wide-fold device, which aims to bridge the gap between a smartphone and a tablet.
It is also worth noting that Samsung is strengthening its partnership with Google. They want to remain the top choice for advanced AI on Android.
It is a bold strategy. Samsung believes that this combination of helpful AI and a more comfortable design will convince users to upgrade their devices. This AI thread will also connect their watches and laptops, creating a very unified ecosystem.
A very focused plan for a competitive market. Thank you for those insights, Jamie.
You are very welcome, Alex.
Hello and welcome. We begin today with a major update from the Federal Reserve. In their first meeting of 2026, the central bank has decided to keep interest rates exactly where they are.
That is correct, Alex. The federal funds rate will remain between 3.5% and 3.75%. This decision shows a very calm and steady hand approach as we enter the new year.
It seems the U.S. economy has significant momentum right now. Even with the current focus on growth under President Trump, the Fed wants to ensure that inflation stays under control.
Exactly. Chair Jerome Powell noted that while there were concerns about rising prices in the past, the data now shows that inflation is stabilizing. At the same time, the job market remains resilient, which is excellent news for workers.
The markets didn't react much to the news because most economists expected this. It looks like the Fed is successfully aiming for a soft landing. That means slowing inflation without causing a recession.
However, they are still being very careful. The committee mentioned they are watching global trade tensions and energy prices. If these external factors cause risks to reappear, the Fed is prepared to change its strategy.
For now, this provides a sense of predictability. Both large businesses and individual consumers can plan their finances knowing that rates are likely to stay at this level for a while.
It is a vote of confidence in the American consumer and the strength of the current economy. We will continue to monitor how these stable rates impact the market throughout the quarter.
Hello, and welcome to our report. Today we are discussing a major legal case regarding President Trump's trade policies.
That is right, Alex. The Supreme Court is now in the final stages of a case that could change how much power a president has over international trade.
This situation began with several executive orders issued by President Trump in 2025. These orders placed high tariffs, or taxes, on a wide range of imported goods.
Currently, U.S. companies are paying billions of dollars in these duties every month. Many of these importers have challenged the president's authority. They argue that, under the Constitution, only Congress should have the power to set such broad trade policies.
What exactly is the administration's legal argument for these taxes?
The administration says the tariffs are a necessary tool. They argue that these taxes protect American manufacturing and help the U.S. negotiate better trade deals with other countries. They believe the president has the power to do this in the interest of national security.
However, the businesses involved in the lawsuit disagree. They say the president is going beyond the laws originally created by Congress.
Correct. This is why the business community is watching so closely. If the Supreme Court rules against the administration, the government might have to refund billions of dollars to these companies.
It is a very high-stakes situation for the America First economic agenda. When can we expect a final decision?
The justices do not seem to be in a hurry. Experts suggest a ruling may not arrive until mid-February.
Until then, the tariffs remain in place. This continues to influence supply chains and the prices that consumers pay every day.
It is certainly a landmark case for executive power. We will provide updates as the court moves forward.
Thank you for joining us for this analysis. Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at a major achievement in the world of science and conservation. The National Geographic Society has just announced a record-breaking fundraising year.
That is correct, Alex. The Society raised a total of $208.1 million in the last fiscal year. This is a historic first for the organization, which has been around for 138 years.
It is quite impressive. This is also the fourth year in a row that they have raised more than $100 million. It shows a growing trend where people want to support large-scale scientific solutions for the environment.
Exactly. A large part of this success comes from a partnership with the Chubb Charitable Foundation. This partnership supports explorers who study vital ecosystems, specifically the areas where land and water meet.
They are also moving forward with a new Blue Boundaries initiative. Furthermore, the funds will help build a world-class museum of exploration in Washington, D.C. This museum will bring stories of global discovery to the general public.
What stands out is their operating model. National Geographic ensures that 100% of these donations are invested directly into their mission. They're focused on protecting the natural world and supporting a new generation of scientists.
It is a steady and successful approach. By using their famous brand, they are tackling difficult challenges like climate change and the loss of biodiversity.
It truly is a model for how legacy institutions can thrive today. This financial success secures their future and allows them to continue their important work in planetary stewardship.
A very positive update for the scientific community. Thank you for joining us, Jamie.
You're welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a serious environmental report regarding Mongolia. A new study shows that the country's glaciers are melting at the fastest rate ever recorded.
Hello, Alex. This is a significant issue. These high-altitude glaciers are the primary source of water for Mongolia's two most important sectors, agriculture and energy.
That is correct. As the ice disappears, the country is facing a major water shortage. This leads to fewer crops and less electricity from hydroelectric power plants.
It is a difficult situation for the people. Nomadic herders and farmers are struggling to keep their animals and crops alive. Because of this, many people are moving away from the countryside and into the capital city, Ulaanbaatar.
This migration puts a lot of pressure on the city's resources. Experts say that while 2025 was a year for raising awareness, 2026 must be a year for direct action.
I agree. The report emphasizes that Mongolia needs to build stronger systems to manage water. They also need to find alternative sources of energy, like wind or solar power, to replace the lost hydroelectric energy.
International aid organizations are also being asked to help. They can provide technical support for water conservation and sustainable farming. Under the current Trump administration, the focus on global resource security remains a key topic for international cooperation.
It is a clear example of how losing a natural resource can change an entire society. Mongolia serves as a case study for other nations that depend on limited resources.
It certainly does. We must watch how these nations adapt to such rapid environmental changes. Thank you for this analysis, Jamie.
You're welcome, Alex.
Good evening. I am Alex. Today, we are discussing a major scientific breakthrough that could change the future of computing.
Hello. It is an exciting time for technology. Scientists at Chalmers University in Sweden have developed something called a quantum refrigerator.
This is very important because quantum computers are incredibly sensitive. They need to stay extremely cold to work, don't they?
That is correct. Even the smallest amount of heat or noise can destroy the fragile data inside. Normally, this noise is a major problem that scientists try to avoid.
But this new invention changes that. Instead of fighting the noise, the device actually uses it.
Exactly, Alex. The researchers found a way to use microwave noise to drive the cooling process. They turned a destructive force into a useful source of energy to move heat away from the system.
That is a very clever approach. How precise is this new cooling method?
It is incredibly precise. They can measure heat flows as small as an attowatt. For our listeners, that is a decimal point followed by 17 zeros and a 1. It is a microscopic level of control.
This means we might not need huge external cooling machines in the future. We can manage the heat directly inside the tiny circuits.
Precisely. This makes quantum computers more stable and reliable. As the U.S. continues to focus on technological growth under President Trump, these advancements are key.
It could lead to faster drug discovery and better artificial intelligence. It is amazing to see a problem become the solution.
It certainly is. This research shows that even the environment, which we once thought was an enemy, can be used to improve technology.
Thank you for that clear explanation, Jamie, and thank you all for joining us for this update.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a fascinating discovery from the world of science. Researchers have found a massive, invisible object lurking in our galaxy.
That is correct, Alex. According to a new study, scientists have detected a giant nugget of dark matter. This object is located relatively close to our solar system.
Dark matter is quite mysterious. It does not emit or reflect light, so we cannot see it with traditional telescopes. Jamie, how were they able to find something that is invisible?
They used pulsars. These are dead stars that emit very regular radio waves. You can think of them as the galaxy's natural high-precision clocks.
So they monitored the timing of these pulses to find the dark matter.
Exactly. By tracking 53 different pulsars, researchers noticed very small shifts in the timing. These shifts were caused by the gravitational pull of a massive object. This nugget is huge. It has a mass about 10 million times greater than our sun.
That is a significant find. Why is this so important for the scientific community?
It provides strong evidence for the cold dark matter model. This theory predicts that our galaxy is filled with thousands of these dense, hidden clumps.
It seems like these objects act as an invisible scaffolding that holds the Milky Way together. Finding one so close allows scientists to study its properties in much greater detail.
Precisely. It brings us one step closer to solving one of the greatest mysteries in physics. What exactly is dark matter made of?
A remarkable achievement indeed. Thank you for sharing these insights with us.
You are very welcome. We will continue to watch as researchers map more of this invisible cosmos.
That concludes our update for today. Thank you for listening.